All right, lady, what have you gotten us into this time?
Well, we started harvesting rainwater in May.
As usual.
As usual. We couldn't in April. It was still too cold and our rain barrels would have frozen at nighttime and then they would have cracked and then that would have been bad. So the rain barrels are the ones that come off the downspouts of the house. So we had a pretty good rainy season in May and half of June. Normally it rains all the way through June. Last year we had all 4 of our tanks filled up. 3 275-gallon white IBC tanks with the metal around them, and then the 500-gallon Uncle Ross blue tank filled. This year we got the 3 IBC tanks filled, and we're already 1.5 down.
And not really anything in the Uncle Ross tank.
No, and so today is July 31st. So we have all of August to get through, which is primarily the hottest month, and part of September is usually hot. And it's been sunny and dry and gross and no rain. I think we had 1 day of rain the whole month of July. So anyway, we're down at the creek and we're harvesting 8 5-gallon buckets at a time.
And I don't know if anybody can see, but you really are bringing sexy back with that look.
I know, I always am. So we took 1 load up to the house right now. We'll do a video when we get up there and show you what the tanks look like and what we're dumping them into. So this is a bit of work, but we're going from here to the Ranger. So Katrina will probably take a picture of the Ranger with the full buckets. Thank goodness we brought all these black buckets from Pennsylvania from when we used to have our landscaping company. And then we had white bucket lids left over from bruskets, from getting grain and stuff like that. So we have to cap them. We've tried hauling them before without lids on, and getting up the hill just doesn't work. So maybe we'll take a little video going up the hill too and show you why it doesn't work. But the lids are keeping the water in, so we're not wasting anything. When we get up to the house, we're dumping them in the tanks, and like I said, we'll do a video up there. So gotta roll. Okay, see you up at the house. All right, so this is one branch of the creek that comes down from Lake Orphan Campground straight out here. We're actually further back behind us. So panning up the hill, we have to go up this hill to get to our house, but it's too dry here. The other branch that comes from back further in towards Continental Divide is running heavier. That's why we're harvesting it from there. But so Katrina's gonna pan to the front here and show you our hill. And this is why we have to put the lids on.
I mean, it actually, in the camera lens, doesn't look as bad as it actually is. I mean, it's not bad, but it's enough that you'd just be pouring stuff out if you didn't lock a lid on it.
Well, so remember the first time we ever came out here,
we just watered this.
We had to put creek water into our toilet because we blew the compression fitting off of the wall for the toilet line, and we had to come down here to get water to put into the toilet tank to be able to flush the toilet until we were able to get a plumber out to fix things. And so we came down here in, I think, the old farm truck, the blue one.
Yeah.
And we tried to put water inside of a cooler. We tried to put it into buckets, and it was just leaking all over the place. So this is where it gets, sketchy. Getting up this part here, it just gets too bouncy, and all the water was just slopping out. It was just a waste. And we don't like to waste anything. That's why we're actually doing this, because we harvest the rainwater for all of our gardening. We haven't had to tap into our well. This is the 3rd year, right?
Yes.
For our gardens at all, because you never know. Like, our well is 308 feet deep, but when could that dry up? Since it's so dry right now. So we're coming up into our lane now. I mean, that was all our lane. That's basically all of our property out there. And as we come through the S-turn here, we do have a spring head that we'll show you up here to the right. But the cows over the past couple years have trodden it down pretty rough. So Katrina, if you can just kind of point in there.
So
right in that divot in there.
Yeah, right in there.
So in order to get that flowing, we just have to get it all dug out, get a proper head on it, and then fence it so that the cows can't get into it. And we talked about doing it this year. We never got to it. And of course, there's no cows out here this year. So it would have been the perfect year to actually do it. But it is what it is. So this is, the hauling of water right now is precautionary. We get ready to go on our trip in a couple weeks, and we want to make sure there's enough water here for Christina when she comes up and house sits and waters all our gardens and stuff, because we can't afford to lose the gardens. We worked so hard on them this year to have our fall crops and winter crops, things for canning and freezing and blanching and things like that.
Sorry, I sneezed.
Gosh,
I tried to stop it.
and so now we're here at the greenhouse. Our water tanks are behind the greenhouse. I'm going to let Katrina go back there and kind of finish out this video, and then we'll show you what we're doing to dump them in there.
Alright, so there's the greenhouse as I spin around. And I promise you, I'm trying not to sneeze again. So these are the 8 buckets.
No water leakage.
Virtually none. It's a little wet down there. So then we gotta carry them through the little gate, around, and then into here. So if you look, so this tank here, can't see what it's at. It's about half full. So that's one load's already in there. It was partial when we started it. This one's completely empty, and then that one's full. So it would be nice to at least fill this one, but I'd probably feel comfortable if we got some in here too. So, all right. If I don't start helping her, she's gonna yell at me. So, I gotta go.
So, when you talk about being a homesteader, doing a homesteader workout, these are 5-gallon buckets. I think a gallon of water weighs
8 pounds.
8 pounds. So that's 40 pounds. It's a little shy, but it's probably 38 pounds. And that's the fun of it. So, I think our goal today will be to see if we can fill this one up. And then we'll have to break this work up into a couple days if we want to get this one filled too. It's just physical all the time.
I'm working hard right here.
You are.
This phone's not light, you know.
That was mean.
All right. Bye.
Right. Oh wait.
Wait.
So we did track it. It's a half a mile down to the creek where we have to go. So it's a mile round trip. But it's worth it, and we're actually glad we have access to the creek like that. It would be too far to try to pump it, no matter how many hoses we had. It just won't work.
Well, we'd have to have like a generator to turn on the pump.
Yeah, it just doesn't. This is much more fulfilling, means more to us, and we're putting the work in. But so, all these were full last year. We actually ended up having extra water last year.
We had to dump it.
At the end of the season, we had to dump it before things started freezing up. But at least it goes back into the earth at that point, back down to the water table or whatever. But better have too much than too little. So we'll be working hard the next couple days. All right. Cheers from the homestead.